In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a stair in Autodesk Revit. If you're struggling to create staircases in Revit, you're not alone. I've actually had that issue myself. So in this video, I'm going to show you most of the things that you might be missing that may not be, or that may be holding you back from actually creating a staircase. So I've gone around to play around with Revit here and just create a few more staircases, but we're just going to go ahead and delete all this. And I'm going to cover a few things that you need to know before you even go about creating a staircase in Revit. So this is Revit 2025 workspace. I'm just going to go back to the L1 architectural. What L1 architectural in this case actually means is that we're on the level 1 floor plan. So in case you don't understand what that means, I'm just going to go over to the architecture tab. And we're going to look for what we call levels. Now, if you don't see levels on this particular screen, you can find it here in Datum, and you can see here that levels are currently grayed out. That is because levels is only found in the elevations view. So you go over to elevation under the project browser down here, go over to elevations, and then just choose one of the elevations, and then you can see your level. So we have here level 1 is the ground floor, L2 is level 2 ground floor. So before you even start creating a staircase, you need to know the height of the building that you're working with. So currently Revit had this set to default 3,600 millimeters. That is in metric. For imperial, this might be 12 feet, but I'm just going to go ahead and change this to 3,250. You can change it to whatever value that you want. If you know the value for the height of your ground floor to the top floor to the ceiling, whichever one, you just need to input that value first of all. So that is going to help you calculate the height of your staircase when you go about creating your staircase. It's really, really important. That's why I think I needed to mention that first. Let's move over to the L1 architectural. Back on the floor plan now. Before you go ahead and create a stair, obviously you need to have a building in place, and the staircase is going to connect the ground floor to the upper floor of the building. In the architecture tab, you find staircase under the circulation tab. That is what circulation means, moving from one part of the building to the other. So that is what staircase helps you to do. So quick one, to create a staircase, go over to the staircase and then go ahead and click stair. It's going to turn on the staircase modify tab for you. You can go about seeing a few settings here that we need to talk about briefly. And first of all is the properties panel. You can see under the properties panel, we have an assembled stair metal plate stringer. What that means is this is an assembled stair. It's a combination of different materials. There are also kinds of staircase that have just one material, which is what they call the monolithic staircase. It's just made of one material. It could be completely steel, it could be completely concrete. You also have precast staircases, and you also have 190 max riser. This could be a wooden staircase, but in summary, it's an assembled staircase, which is a combination of different materials. Depending on the type of staircase that you want to create, you can go ahead and choose that here. You also have, of course, all the other properties that we're familiar with, which is base level, which is what we know as the ground floor, and then L2 is the top floor that we're going to. We've already set our desired stair height, and you can see that with that set, Revit has already given us a desired number of risers that can actually take us from the ground floor to the top floor. You can go ahead and change the settings anyhow you want. There's a tread depth here. I'm going to just change this tread depth to like 300 because I know 250 is good enough, but you can change it to like maybe 300 for now. These are all the settings that you need to put in place so you can, when you go about creating your staircase, it's going to come out exactly the way that you want. So back to the staircase modify, create stair component tab right now. You can see we have run, landing, and support. So this is the method that you're going to use to create the staircase. You first of all have to create the run, then you create the landing, and then you create the support. Now, when creating the run, there are different kinds of run in Revit. There's a straight run staircase that's just, if I go ahead and select this by default, it just allows you to pull the line, and you can have all your 18 risers created like desired. It's just a straight run staircase. If you go back to 3D view, you can see that this is what the straight run staircase actually looks like. If you go back to the normal L1 architectural, let's say you want to create a full step spiral staircase, it's a different kind of run. Exactly, it's not straight. So you can go ahead and select this and just pull it around. It's like a circle. You can choose to have the circle connect to each other like this, or you can just choose to have it like a semicircle. You can see that we're somehow still connected to the previous staircase. So Revit still thinks that we're continuing to create a run. So in case you want to create a new staircase, you have to completely cancel what you're doing here, like press escape, and completely cancel the staircase and deactivate it before you go ahead and create a new one, in case you don't want to combine both staircases. But if your plan is to combine the staircase, you can go ahead and continue doing it like that. There's a center and end spiral of staircase. This is just a different type of staircase as well. For this one, you create where the staircase is going to stop, and then move your cursor to the left to create the run and do it that way. So this is just a different type of staircase run. So we're going to use a straight staircase now to create just a simple stair from one floor to the next. So this is 19, desired number of riser here is 19. We're just going to go ahead and select one spot here. I'm going to pick the first 10 risers. And next we're going to come all the way down here, just move the cursor down a little bit and then create the remaining 9. You can see that that's too close, so I can just press escape and move further a bit and then create the second 9 staircases. So you can see now that Revit automatically goes ahead to create a landing for us. That is because when we're creating the staircase, we had the automatic landing selected. You can see the automatic landing here, it's selected, and you can also choose other settings here, whether you want to run the staircase from the center, whether you want to run the staircase from with an offset of maybe 600 mm, or I'm just going to leave it at 0.00. In 3D, you can see our staircase that we went on to create from one ground floor to the next floor. And if you go over to our east elevation in architectural, you can see our staircase from the ground to the top. If you go over to the north, you can see our staircase from the ground to the top. So that's a very simple way of creating a staircase from one ground floor to the upper floor. Very simple. Now, in case you want to design the run yourself and you don't just want Revit to create the run for you, you can go ahead and use the sketch option to sketch your staircase. So what you want to do when you go ahead and select the run is to go ahead and click the create sketch option. That's going to just give you a different option of boundary, riser, and stair path. So what Revit is going to do in this case is to allow you to design the riser and the boundary of the staircase by yourself. So in this case, we're going to just create a different style of staircase. So first of all, we're going to create the boundary for the stairs. We're going to just, let's use, okay, 5,000 is about 5 meters, that's a lot. So we're just going to set it to maybe 3.1. You can just type in 3100. Have that in there. That is the first line. And we're just going to go ahead and offset this line by the space of the, let's say 1,200. Let's go ahead and push this, create the other boundary of the staircase. So this is the two ends of the staircase, right? So next thing we want to do is to go ahead and create the other side of the staircase. So we just set this to maybe 600 and offset this again. The 600 is a bit more, it's okay. 600, then another 1,200. Offset this one again. Now that we have the boundary of our staircase, you don't want to close them yet. What you want to do is go ahead and create the landing of the staircase. So if you have your line tool still selected, you don't want to use a separate line or you don't want to use this one single line to draw it and continue like this. Let me just finish drawing it so I can explain what I mean. Go ahead and select this. Let's set this to maybe 1,300. I think that's okay. Take the cursor all the way up and connect it with this one. Now, in this case, you want these two lines to be separate so that Revit knows where the staircase actually stops and where the landing actually starts. So this is something I was missing before in previous attempts to actually create a staircase, and it gave me a lot of problems. So now that I just understood this, I felt it's important that I share it with you. So now we almost have our boundary done. We now want to just close this part in. I think I could ask let's just close this part first. But in case I want to change this boundary to look like a curve, I can go ahead and change this, just delete this one. Go ahead and select start, end, radius, and arc. Select the start and the end, and then change the radius to go outside, maybe about 3.6. Just have a curve on the other end. Once we're settled with our boundary, it's now time to close these other ends. Well, we don't close it with a boundary line, we close this with a riser line because that is where the staircase is going to pass. So go ahead and select this with your cursor. Go ahead and draw one line here. Now remember, we want our staircase to maybe have, instead of 300, I think we're going to use 250 for the riser. I'm going to go ahead and draw another line here. So you can see that we've already created two risers by drawing these two lines. So next you want to do is, instead of creating one by one, we can go ahead and use copy and paste. But first, I'm going to just create the next one by using 250. Is it possible to latch 250? Okay, let's go with this. You can always change the dimension. Go ahead and select one. It says here 250. We're going to change this to 250. Now that we have that, we can go ahead and use copy. I'm just going to select this item and press enter. Move it from here and copy it all the way to the top. Now we can select these two and go ahead and select copy, and just take your cursor to the first riser and then select that as the endpoint. I'm just going to use that to copy it accurately to get all the risers in place. So we see we have 7 more risers left, 5 more, 1 more riser left. So now that we have 1 more riser, we've created 18, there's remaining 1. We can just copy just to one of it. Go ahead and select this one, click enter, and then copy this. Let me use this part, select this one, select copy, go back to the previous one, and then select this one like this. So now that we have our risers all set in place and the landing and everything, we can go ahead and even reduce this if possible. Just go ahead and drag this all the way here to maybe 200, or let's say 400, and then drag the other end of the staircase, bring it all the way this way. Just make sure the staircase is not bigger than usual. So now that we have our landing and our riser, have our boundary for the staircase, it's almost done. The only thing that we need to do now is create a stair path. So go ahead and select stair path. This is going to tell us the direction of the staircase, whether we're going up from this side all the way over here, or we're going up from this way all the way over here. So what we want to do is go ahead and select this. You can draw this one all the way here, and go ahead to this other part, draw this line this way. Then we can draw one line on the boundary, and then we can use trim and extend to just trim this up to this one, and then trim this up to this one to go ahead and clean it. And there we have our staircase. Now that the sketch is done, we can go ahead and click accept, and Revit goes on to create our staircase for us. If you go back to 3D, you can see our staircase in design over here. There's currently no railing assigned to the staircase. That's because we didn't choose railing to come up with the staircase automatically. We could always go ahead to design that anytime we want. Now that our staircase is almost ready, you can go ahead and click the green tick again to finish. Once that's done, Revit is going to take a few seconds to calculate the complete staircase and then finish the render. There we go. So we have our up and all the way down. So here we go in 3D. You can see that Revit has gone ahead to create the railing for us and everything. So that is like the basic approach to go ahead and use and create a staircase. You can use this to create any kind of staircase that you want, or you can use the automatic staircase plans that we spoke about earlier. Either you can use the spiral staircase, full staircase. Instead of just creating a sketch, you can use all these other methods depending on the building that you're working on, and that is going to help you create a staircase. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have any additional questions, do let me know in the comment section, and I'll try to work on those videos as well. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one.